Hey guys, it's your boy Mark with Top Sunday number 46, I think. Let me just check. Um, just looking. Yep, number 46. Alright, and this is going to be for my personal top 5 most overrated video games. Now, I know whatever I put on this might seem touchy to certain people who are like huge fans of these games, probably. So, if a game that you love is on this list, don't take it personally. I'm glad you love it. Go ahead and keep loving it. I wish I felt the same as you with these games. I don't understand the insane amounts of praise for these games. I've played all these, of course. A lot of them I haven't played that much of, if I'm being honest. But yeah. So don't take this list personally if some of your favorite games are on here. They didn't work for me, really. And I don't understand the high amount of praise either. You know what I mean? But anyway, so number 5, Resident Evil 4. Out of these 5 overrated games, in my opinion, this is probably the... Actually, no, that would be the one after this, probably. But I had some fun with this, but I was like... I played it for the first time back in October. This is a game that I heard so much great stuff about. I've been wanting to play for years. And I played it. And I'm struggling to get used to the camera because I'm so used to like using my thumb to like move the camera around, but there's not really a camera for this game, you know what I mean? And it's fun to shoot people, but you run out of health and you get to a save, and your health. I appreciate the more realistic thing of that, but your health literally stays that way. You literally always have to get health upgrades. You know, your health doesn't regenerate. You know, and every time you die, you know, if you went to another save, you know, that's extremely frustrating. I am like stuck because of that, and even when I do, you know, fill up on my health, immediately, I lose like 95% of it 5 seconds later. You know, it's way too hard, and the story wasn't doing really what's going on wasn't really doing much for me either. And like it's weird because I was like, I remember searching out when does this game get good or something like that, and then I saw like comments from people saying, oh, once this part came up, then that means then I was hooked, you know. And I was like, what, already? And that was a part obviously that I already have gone through. And I was like, what, are you kidding me for me? You know, like, so a great part has already come up, you know, and I do want to finish this game one day. I just don't see the insane amount of praise for it right now. Alright, number 4, The Last of Us. I have said in the past that, oh, The Last of Us is amazing, it's one of my favorite games ever. That was me, even though I didn't know it at the time, really, kind of just hopping on the bandwagon. I mean, there's some parts of the story that I love. I do love Joel, the character. I've completed this game like twice at least, you know, and I do enjoy it. But the way the pedestal people put it on, like, Jesus Christ, you know what I mean? Like, they're like, this is the most amazing thing in history and all that, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, it's not that good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, far out, you know? I know, it's like, I do love how, I'm not going to spoil nothing, but how it started and ended, and it was like a full circle type thing, you know? Not going to elaborate on that, but that was cool, and of course, I do have fun playing it, but it's like, I don't get it. Y'all are like acting like it's God or something, you know? But, yeah, I still enjoy it. Like I said, I've completed it twice. But I do actually want to play The Last of Us 2, because that actually, from what I heard, that sounds like a game I would love, like, a lot more, like The Last of Us Part 2. Despite it, I think, has SJW shit in it, and you know how I feel about that. But, yeah, I do want to play The Last of Us 2. I think I would like it a lot more than the first one. Now I feel better to be completely real and honest about how I feel, But all right, I have one more thing to say about Last of Us. There's like this, let's say like in the story, like in the cutscenes, like a really like brutal emotional moment happens. You know what I mean? And that part happens, and then it's like, oh, well, that's sad, and then okay, back to playing. That's kind of how I've made of those scenes, But yeah, Anyway, number 3. I'm starting to think I should have put. I wrote this list like a couple weeks ago, by the way. In fact, I wrote this list like several weeks ago. I think maybe this should actually be like number 2, my number 3. But anyway, number 3, or maybe even number 1. Anyway, the top 3 on this is kind of interchangeable. Actually, no, maybe just my number 3 and number 1. Those seem interchangeable. Number 3, God of War 2018. I love the God of War series, but then I played this and it had me hooked at first. And it's like a journey. We have to go to these mountains or whatever and that was the whole game. Like we go to sorry about the cause. Mother's ashes, like dump them out at this mountain or something like that. I haven't played this in 2 years, by the way, God of War 2018, but I was like, yes, let's do that. And then after a while in the game, just more and more crap keeps happening, and we have to like deal with that before doing it. And that's when getting rid of those ashes was like a thing that I was one of those things that I'm just happy to kind of get over with. You know what I mean? And then eventually I realized the whole game was going to end at when we do that finally. I was like, really, man? You know what I mean? That just put me off. And I don't know, just the game never really. It had beautiful visuals, beautiful graphics. This game just never really. I just don't like it. I don't like this God of War. I'm sure as heck not looking forward to Ragnarok either. But I don't get it, man. Just this is like so far off the original God of War games, and to me that's God of War. All right, this will never be God of War to me. All right, I know it is to a lot of like quote unquote new God of War fans, I guess, who now they like this franchise just because of this new entry. I don't get it. This is like The Last of Us. To me. And I just don't like this game at all. I did finish it, and I was like, all right, well, I finished it, and then I immediately just deleted it off my PS4, just to save some space. So I at least completed it, but there were times when I enjoyed it, of course, like some boss fights were pretty cool, and like I said, beautiful visuals at points, but and there was this one part when it was like a tribute to the original God of War games. I'm not gonna spoil what that was exactly, but that part I flipped out in the best way. That was amazing. I'll give it that. That part genuinely had me all giddy and excited, but still, this will never replace the original God of War games to me. Never, ever, ever. Those games are God of War. Alright? This is not God of War to me. Never will be. Alright? And I was pretty excited when I heard about this game back in like 2016 as well. Yeah. Anyway, I felt like I could talk about this all day, but let's get to the top 2. Number 2, I'm gonna go with Journey. Now, this game was trash, man. All you do in this game is walk. I remember at least as of right now, in my highest, most viewed video to date on my main channel, at least. My If Anything Happens, I Love You. My thoughts on that. That video is my highest view video. 27,000 views so far. and I was saying that in that short film, it reminded me of Journey, the game Journey, I I mentioned that game sucks donkey dick, you know. 27,000 people heard me call this game a game that sucks donkey dick, donkey nuts. Anyway, this is it has a beautiful atmosphere. I'll give it that. It has beautiful well, not necessarily what I'm looking at, but I love the atmosphere, and it has a beautiful soundtrack too. That's it. That's literally it. That's all the things about it that I like. It's trash, man. I never finished it. My idea was to record the whole thing in one go, and I was like, man, I'm just not enjoying this. Screw it. I gave up after like 2 hours. I gave it a chance, but boring as heck, man. Oh man, but yeah. And my number one most overrated game of all time is Metal Gear Solid. It doesn't help that David Hayter, or whatever his name is a massive SJW. That has nothing, and I think this is a freaking SJW game too, which sucks, like an SJW franchise. But I played it for the first time in January, and just like with Resident Evil 4, how I was like at certain points in the game that had already won people over like crazy, and I'm like, what? I'm long past those parts, And this game was just way too hard for me. And if a game is just way too hard, I don't feel any enjoyment when the game is just way too hard, And if I keep looking for instructions on how to do this and that, I'm not having fun, I don't know. This game just by far the most overrated game I've ever played. Honestly, like far out, man. Just oh man, I haven't played it since January, which ironically is probably the shortest amount of time between games that I played out of these. But I guess that just means it was the least memorable. Well, it is pretty memorable, but not in a good way to me. Anyway, yeah. I could probably talk about all of these games more, but you got my list. And the word overrated, I don't use that word anywhere near as much as I used to. So, yeah. These are my top 5 most overrated games ever. If you disagree, that's cool. If you love these games, that's awesome. I wish I felt the same as you did playing these, but I don't get it. I find them all extremely overrated. And, but yeah. Anyway, I'm your boy Mark Sanders. We can still be friends after this. Peace out, y'all.